Night City, where peace and chaos live side by side. But of course, you've stepped into the shoes and samurai jacket of V and his cyber-based wingman. You already know the chrome-soaked neon-lit streets of New USA's City of Dreams. You've met and lost Haywood's own Labrador in human form, Chiquito Wells. And you forever put off and delayed meeting Hanako at Embers. One more gig, I promise. What you don't know, however, is the stories of its millions of aimless, gonk-eyed NPCs that call NC home. They are the backdrop to the Edgerunner adventures, the anonymous faces in the crowd, the often exploited, forgotten, collateral damage in this city's endless churn. So come on, let's ask the question, what is life like for Night City's lost and hopeless NPCs? I wake up, it's 3 PM, I'm hungover, I grab an XXL burrito. The meat tastes fake, but it's the realest food I've had in months. I'm late for my shift, I hit the end cart. The guy next to me smells, so I change seats. I clock in for my shift. Claire gives me shit about being late. I flirt with a Russian model who's hot, but her chrome looks cheap. Did bro just look at my butt? Oh, nice. Some guy asked for a Jackie Wells, something about a splash of love. My shift ends, I meet up with the model and we hit some glitter in the back alley before grabbing a Delamain over to Empathy. She runs out of glitter, which sucked. The girl jumps on a BD, so I ditch her. On stage and dance, the bouncers don't like it, so I leave. I dropped acid and wandered around the corporate plaza. The giant fish freaked me out. I see a guy jump from a corpo tower and splatter on the pavement. I realise I'm hungry. I cruise the red light district before ending up at Tom's for a feed. Chat with an old friend and I go home. I get stoned while listening to old samurai records, and the next morning I wake up talking to myself. I get my stuff and jump on the end card. I no longer know who I am and I feel like the ghost of a total stranger. Oh, I hope someone gets that reference. In the City of Dreams, you can be anything. Become a beat cop with a gun, paramedic with a gun, a corpo ladder climber with a gun, a family man with a gun, a chromed up sex worker with a gun, a stealthy netrunner with a gun who's a gun. But for most NPCs, they get two choices. An everyday menial job that pays minimum wage, or take a 24/7 corporate job that pays well above the average salary, but leans heavily towards work over life. But Arasaka will offer you a life coach to help navigate your new burnout lifestyle. Side note, you've probably seen these ads for Karoshi optics, but FYI, the word Karoshi is eerily close to the Japanese word for karoshi, which translates to death from overwork. And yeah, worth noting, if you're one of the few that can do it, you can retire from corporate life or even pro boxing and become a Night City Ripper Doc. These half doctor, half mechanics specialise in installing gonks with the latest chrome cyberware. But even Ripper Docking comes with a risk. Just ask Chiyo Omoto over in Japantown, who had her hands and eyes clipped from a cyber psycho cracking it on the table and filling her insides with a fresh mantis blade. But there's also the gruesome job of having to put this guy's junk back together. But if poverty or dying at work doesn't get you excited, there's always a life of crime.
No, it's a normal implant malfunction. Happy?
If looks aren't important to you, why not head to Watson and sign up to Maelstrom? You can load your face and body up with enough cybernetics to evoke cyberpsychosis. While Maelstrom aren't the smartest or most attractive, they do excel when it comes to assassinations, illegal BDs, or even just selling the latest drugs. While Watson is one of the, poorer districts, it's still got so much going for it besides just the hit TV series Watson Whore, every Wednesday at 10 PM by the way. Here you can kick back at one of the cute little bars by the waterfront in Kabuki, or hit up its wholesome red light district. Or throw back a few Johnny Silverhands at the afterlife. And despite its slummy setting, it's also home to the lush Konpeki Plaza, whose architect was clearly a fan of foreshadowing.
No way!
Or if you're someone whose family comes first,
Family.
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 Family. Family.
Your family.
you can get up to no good in Haywood, the stomping ground of the Valentinos. Not so good if you're an atheist. But if you're into religion and lots of gold jewelry, these are your hombres. And don't let the gang's tattoos fool you. The Valentinos are legitimate businessmen, owning restaurants, auto shops, and even a funeral parlour. They aren't all saints, however, as these are fronts for criminal activity, drug deals and illegal chop shops for stolen vehicles. Haywood is known as the biggest bedroom in Night City, so kiss personal space goodbye. Yeah, Haywood is mostly dangerous and unwelcoming, but head north and you can enjoy the lush parks, classy bars, and modern skyscrapers in the city corporate centre. This is where the rich and overworked spend their lives building up the economic power of the metropolis. But don't bother dropping off your CV at Arasaka or Militech. Their front doors aren't exactly welcoming. Or there's NC's largest gang, the Tiger Claws. Not so great if you're trying to beat the competition and work your way up to the top, but fantastic if you're into sake and anime with friends. You'll find these futuristic yakuzas in Kabuki and Westbrook, with Westbrook often considered by many the best place to live in NC, with its Asia-inspired design and delicious food stalls, thanks to Arasaka's migration into the US. Speaking of which, you can enjoy the sights of the annual Arasaka Parade through its upper levels, or enjoy a bite from its cherry blossom market on its lowest level. I do recommend winning over Wakako Okada, every tiger claw's favourite tiger mum. Maybe challenge her to a game of pachinko, but just don't mention her many dead husbands.
True love comes to die in Night City.
If any of these don't float your gangland boat, you can also have your pick between others like the net-running vampire-like Voodoo Boys, the Animals, the patriotic 6th Street, or my personal favourite, the Mox. Or you can just journey to the inhospitable Badlands and join the Nomads. It's up to you. You'd think being caught in the crossfire of a constant turf war would be a Night City NPC's greatest threat, but that title goes to its smell. Because, for me anyway, it's impossible to believe that the smell of Night City can be anything but awful. With its horizon of oil rigs in the north, and Biotechnica's parade of protein farms in the south, and in between you've got the overflowing garbage littered across its underpasses, back alleys and below mega buildings. And on top of all this, the countless corpses and buckets of blood left behind from its many skirmishes between armed gonks and the NPC's finest, all contributing to Night City's pervasive stench of decay. It's hard to believe that V doesn't start gagging in between each and every voice line.
Keep this up, I'm gonna fucking puke. Narrate that.
It might seem crazy at first that medical treatment is paywalled behind a subscription fee, but at least Trauma Team value the life of its clients and act when needed, unlike our modern-day health insurance companies that only want to empty our bank accounts. Trauma Team are the trigger-happy military-level paramedics of Night City, and they charge by the bullet. Whether you choose silver or executive-level cover, Trauma Team promises 7-minute response time and on-site surgery options for removing those nasty bullets lodged in your insides. With this premium starting at 1,000 eddies a month, this is a service only accessible to Night City's wealthy elite. But just imagine for a moment Trauma Team University. From 9 to 11 you study Anatomy 101, followed by your close quarters tactic exam, and then you close out your day with some target practice, followed by some surgery practice. No wonder the price is high. Imagine the student debt. You'd think given Night City's skyrocketing body count, its citizens would be emotionally hardened to the idea of losing a loved one. But NC takes honouring its lost comrades very seriously, whether it's the quiet beauty of the Arasaka Tower Memorial or the North Oak Columbarium, which was built after cremation became preferred over burials, due to the many scavengers robbing graves to the cyberware implants of the deceased. And here you might find an old friend, or a boy who really wanted to stay at a certain girl's house. And as V's story progresses, you'll find these placards will update with citizens lost along the way. Evelyn Parker, Arthur Jenkins, Akay Koi, and even my boy Brendan.
You're a cool, round, shaped kind of guy.
Have you ever wondered why you'll often see night citizens rolling on the floor in agony? Well, most of the time, it's a bullet, but more often than not, it's actually because of the food. Yeah, real food exists, but the average NPC just can't afford it. Instead, they have to settle for algae-based vegetables, chemical-based cheese, and a synthetic meat called Easy Beef. Thanks to Biotechnica, Easy Beef is a cheap meat alternative made from ground-up worms and is widely available, churned out by the rows and rows of farms at Biotechnica Flats. But it gets worse. For those that can't even afford a wormy XXL burrito from the army of vending machines, there's kibble. Originally a short-term solution for food shortages after the many corporation wars, it was adopted as a long-term affordable source of nutrients. So whether you're dining on Bucket Slice, Mac and Cheeses, or just one of the many street vendors, Night City is literally eating like dogs.
Maybe it's a good thing I'm dying.
Night City was made to entertain, from the Dicky Twister to Lizzie's. NC is overflowing with drugs, alcohol, and more, where you can indulge in the light and dark side of 2077's favourite entertainment medium, brain dancers. BDs are virtual experiences that were originally used for rehabilitating convicts to psychologically recondition them back into society. But really, why should convicts have all the fun? Now anyone can jack in and live the thrills of foreign body. Or for true crime podcast lovers, there's always crime, punishment, and zombies. Or if you're feeling truly frisky, there's the Sasha Devon experience. 3 mouths, 1 desire. Or there's whatever this is. Of course, BDs do come with many side effects, like inactivity, poor nutrition, and mental isolation, but if you're a true gamer, you're already well familiar with these.
Like when you bang some chick and then her sister later, same night, and it turns out they're both sisters of God.
That really happened to you?
Nah, but it could've.
Beyond BDs, what's truly crazy in Night City is that cybernetic implants began as a way for businesses to get more out of their employees in the early 2000s. Because what, 40 hours a week isn't enough?
World's a Garden of Eden if the Eddies are right.
But in 2077, implants are both a stylistic choice and a practical one. And there's never been a more real demonstration of Night City's greed for more than cyberpsychosis, where excessive cybernetic augmentations lead to personality fragmentation and violent outbursts, which basically translates to a crazy gonk with a gun. By now, let's be honest, you're probably already sold on a life in Night City. But like anything, this desirable lifestyle does come with a downside. Night City is a metropolis that's forgotten how to connect. Not in a digital sense, but in a human one. And this need is evident by many players expressing how Cyberpunk left them feeling empty after the credits rolled. And guys, you can call me crazy, but that feeling is actually what tends to pull me back in. Because in a sick, strange way, when I'm feeling empty, drained, and heavy from my own daily grind, walking these digital ray-traced streets makes me feel a little less isolated knowing this entire city is struggling through the same thing. I guess misery does love company because, bizarrely, in Night City, while you may feel lonely, you're never really alone. This shared longing for connection is found in Night City's many quieter moments. Takamura's desire to avenge Saburo, his boss and lifelong friend, and reclaim his honor. Kerry and his struggle with fame and public pressure as he grapples with his own lasting legacy of samurai and his bandmates. Judy and her difficult childhood due to the loss of her parents, leaving her chasing genuine connection and belonging. Pan Am and her strong desire to reunite with her clan and restore their former glory. And even my brother-in-arms Jackie is of course chasing fame and success, but at the heart of this, he's simply trying to give Misty and his family a better life. Hell, even the androids are trying to find connection. Skippy just wants to find his way back to his owner. Brendan, the experimental AI within a schism, is reaching out trying to understand his customers better. And even the malfunctioning Delamain cars are seeking a friendship rather than just a client.
Would you rather live in pieces, Mr. Nobody, die ripe, old, and smelling slightly of urine, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory, smelling near like...
So, forgive me for a second, because this is going to seem a bit random, but have you ever stopped and looked up and wondered what those blue and orange koi fish above Night City's corporate plaza are actually for? Well, with koi fish, their symbolism goes pretty deep, with each colour telling its own story. Blue koi brings serenity, calm, and emotional balance. And a golden koi, they're all about attracting wealth and prosperity. But what if the blue and gold represent something else? What if Dex was right and you have the choice between peace and chaos? When V is first recovering from the heist, Misty offers V two types of pills. Pseudo-endotrizine in blue diminishes Johnny and puts V in control, bringing them back to serenity. And Omega blockers in orange boost Johnny's influence over V and unleash the chaos. But ultimately, neither pill offers salvation. Just like V and Johnny, Night City gives its citizens this illusion of choice. Whether it's their consumption or their entertainment, they think they're in control, but their lives are ultimately dictated by forces far beyond them. In essence, life for an everyday citizen in Night City is a relentless struggle against overwhelming odds. It's a life of scarcity, danger, and constant pressure, where survival is the only goal. Despite all this, there's a resilient hope hidden amongst its inhabitants. Because in the end, there is still one choice that isn't an illusion: to let others in or shut them out. Take Johnny and V. They start out as distant enemies, but by the end, they're closer to partners than rivals, fighting for existence in a shared mind. Peace and chaos side by side. And so, it would seem in Night City at least, the most rebellious act one can do is choose to open up and simply let in a friend.
Jackie, afraid this is gonna be my last call. Don't have much time left. One way or the other, everything's coming to a head. No, I've been talking to myself this whole time, but just wanted to say you're a good friend, even when you're not around. Over and out, Choomba.
Hey, if you're still here, huge thank you for watching this far. Drop a like or a dislike. My voice is not for everyone. For the OG subs, an even bigger thank you, because without you guys, I probably would have just given up making these videos. And if you're new, hit that sub button, because every single one is massively appreciated. And I will see you in the next one, lefties.